Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about how fasting stops and reverses insulin resistance. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Let's get started. So there are those who argue that fasting is beneficial only to the extent that it reduces calories. But if that's the case, why is there such a striking difference between caloric reduction and fasting? Caloric reduction strategies like eat less and move more fail virtually every single time. Yet fasting is often effective when simple caloric restriction is not. Why? The short answer is that when you're eating regularly, even if you're eating fewer calories, you're not getting the beneficial hormonal changes of fasting. During fasting, unlike during caloric restriction, metabolism stabilizes or even goes up to maintain energy levels. Adrenaline and growth hormone increase to maintain energy and muscle mass. Blood sugar and insulin levels go down as the body changes from burning sugar to burning fat. All this begins to address the long-term problem of insulin resistance. A recent randomized trial illustrated the difference between the two strategies very well. The study compared the effectiveness of daily caloric reduction and intermittent fasting among 107 women. One group reduced their daily caloric intake from 2,000 calories to 1,500 calories. The other group was allowed normal caloric intake, which was the 2,000 calories. 5 days a week, but only 25% of that 500 calories on the remaining 2 days. This is referred to as a 5-2 fast. This means that over the course of a week, average caloric intake for the two groups was very similar. 10,500 calories per week for the reduced calorie group and 11,000 calories per week for the fasting group. Both groups consumed similar Mediterranean-style dishes with 30% fat. After 6 months, both groups had similar levels of weight loss and fat loss, but the 5-2 group showed a clear substantial improvement in insulin levels and insulin resistance, whereas the caloric reduction group did not. In the long term, this is a crucial problem with caloric reduction. Higher insulin resistance eventually leads to higher insulin levels, which in turn contribute to higher insulin resistance in a vicious cycle. These higher insulin levels lead to obesity. The inability of most diets to reduce insulin resistance is exactly why they eventually result in weight regain. Fasting, on the other hand, introduces prolonged periods of low insulin levels, which breaks the cycle of high insulin and insulin resistance. Another way to look at this is that most diets ignore the biological principle of homeostasis. The body adapts to changing environments. For example, if you are in a dark room and suddenly go into a bright sunlight, you will momentarily be blinded. But within moments, your eyes will adapt. The same applies to weight loss. If you maintain a consistent reduced calorie diet, the body will quickly adapt to it. Energy expenditure, also your metabolism, declines to match the reduced intake. Weight plateaus, then is regained. This is not because you've stopped your diet, but because your body has now adapted to it. To prevent the body from adapting to the new weight loss strategy and maintain weight loss requires an intermittent strategy, not a consistent one. This is a crucial distinction. Restricting some foods all the time differs from restricting all foods some of the time. This is the difference between failure and success. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.